Hello, lovely ladies, and welcome back. In today's conversation, five very important, critical reasons why you should embrace the S word in your relationship. The S word means submission. Why should you submit in your relationship? Let's talk about it. Ladies, it is an honor to be with you today to talk about this subject. It is an emotional subject. We all know the S word brings forth a lot of emotions, but we are going to unpack it today to see what are the benefits that we can bring to ourselves, to our relationship, to our partner, to our life when we embrace the S word. Submission sometimes is misunderstood or it's misrepresented, but when viewed through the lens of love, respect, and faith, it becomes something beautiful, something empowering. So, today I'd like to share some thoughts on what the true submission looks like. What does true submission looks like? What is it? What does it not look like? And how does it lead to stronger and more meaningful relationships, which of course will then lead to the ultimate goal of marriage? So, my single gals, me included, we are talking about learning to submit ourselves in the relationship prior to even getting the ring. So, we're going to talk. This is really for us single women out here. So, we are learning what wives are doing so that we can implement that in the courting process because ultimately, when you're in that courting stage, it is essentially in a marriage because first you have to be a wife in that courting stage in order to actually physically embody becoming the wife, right? So, first in the relationship, we submit, and then in the marriage, the submission continues. So, reason number one to embrace submission in your relationship. So, the reason number one is submission is an act of love and trust. Submission is an act of love and trust. Wives, let's start with the breakdown of what submission really means. In Ephesians 5:22 through 24, it says, "Wives, submit yourself to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church." Some hears this, right? And we're thinking submission means weakness or blind obedience. No, it does not. But the true submission is rooted in love and in trust, for not for any other reason. Fear or control has no place here. It is about honoring God's design for marriage, where the husband is the loving head and we the wife, we the women in the relationship, the wife willing supporters and respects his leadership. We respect him as he leads his household. This kind of relationship reflects the love between Christ and the church. Christ in the church, husband and wife. We must respect our man. We must respect our husbands as we do Christ. We are the church, and the church is supposed to represent the body of Christ. And so we respect Christ as the body, and the wife, the body, respects her husband as the head. And so these are some of the reasons why it is critically important to put our husbands first. A love built on grace, sacrifice, and mutual devotion is what you get when the marriage is built on these things. Submission is a choice. It is a daily decision to respect, to trust, and affirm your husband's role as the leader of your home, the leader in the relationship. Honey, it requires strength. It requires strength. It requires strength. No weaknesses here. No, no weaknesses here. No egos here. None of that. You have to just embrace the fact that your man, that your husband, he is the head. It takes courage, okay, to trust someone enough to let them lead you. So it's about trust and faith. And it takes humility to walk alongside him as a partner. You have to be the woman, the backbone, as we like to say, as he leads you, as he leads the family, as he leads the household, as he is the leader, and you are the backbone. It takes humility, it takes grace, it takes being a true woman of God to honor the dynamics of Christ, husband, wife. That is the role. Christ first, husband, wife. And that is the role of we the women. And that's why submission in the relationship is an act of love and trust. The second reason to embrace submission in your relationship, two, submission is not subservience. It is not. One of the greatest misconceptions about submission is that it means you're going to lose your voice, right? Or you're going to become some sort of doormat. Nothing could be further from the truth. In a godly marriage, a husband and a wife are partners, each bringing unique skills, strength, insight, wisdom into the relationship and into the marriage. Submission does not mean silence. It doesn't mean agreeing with everything that your spouse, your husband, your mate has to say. No, no, or surrendering your individuality. It is not. It means sharing your thoughts with respect, encouraging your husband leadership with love, and standing as strong support system that you are to him. You are his support system, and you're supporting him in his role as the leader of the house, as the marriage, as the man. You play a pivotal role as the support and the backbone for your husband. A wife's submission is balance. She's to balance herself, balance her husband, and balance the home. Her responsibilities of love to her husband is the same as her love to Christ, or it's the same as how the church loves Christ. It's the same responsibility. It is sacrificial. It is selfishness, right? And it is with deep care of her well being. She has to be able to be well in order to serve her husband. So it's taking care of her emotional needs as well. When both parties live out their roles, they create a marriage, a relationship built on mutual respect and harmony. So you're not losing anything. You're actually working as the balancing agent in the relationship. And that is a powerful role to have because you're essentially running the show, but behind the scenes, right? This is who you are as the wife, the backbone to making sure that your man is able to thrive and do the things that he is supposed to do for you, for the family, for your life, for your marriage, for your home. The third reason to embrace submission in your relationship and marriage is because submission fosters unity and peace. Unity and peace. One of the most powerful fruits of submission is the unity and peace that it brings to the marriage. When there is clarity in the roles, there is less conflict. A wife who trusts her husband's leadership allows him to feel respected and empowered to make decisions for the family. In turn, a wise husband will seek his wife's counsel, knowing that her insight is invaluable, right? In a marriage marked by submission, decisions are about control, but with collaboration, right? It's about collaborating together and bringing those voices, both voices, thoughts, and opinions to the conversation, to the issue of what we're being discussed. A husband leads with love, and a wife submits with trust. Together, we honor God as one another, creating a home where peace reigns. We are honoring each other. We're honoring Christ. We're honoring the body when we submit and we provide peace and unity in the home. It is a team effort. Your voice is not lost. Your voice is there guiding him to where he needs to go so the decisions are made together. And you are letting him lead you, knowing that he has your best interest and the best interest of the family at heart. So, unity and peace. My lovely ladies, if you are enjoying the content and you are getting value from it, then I know that it's time to hit that like button. Comment your thoughts. Which ones of these so far that resonate with you with submission? And if you are enjoying this video, send it to maybe your sister or a friend who you know will get value out of this and learning the art of using our power as women to submit so we can have a blessed and loving marriage and relationship. So go ahead and share it with some friends. And don't forget, subscribe for more content. Thank you. The fourth reason to embrace submission in your relationship is in marriage. Submission requires having faith in God. Submission requires having faith in God. Let's be honest, submission isn't always easy. It's not easy at all. It requires a deep faith in God's plan and a willingness to put His design above our own designs and for us letting go, not having control. But remember, we are not submitting just to our husbands, right? We are ultimately submitting to God. When we trust God's order of marriage, we experience his blessings. We grow in patience, we grow in humility, and we grow in grace. And we learn to rely on him and his strength, his wisdom, his guidance. And in doing so, we become women of strength, women of dignity, and women that are radiating with the beauty of God's love that is within ourselves, in our bodies as women, in our spirits, and as in our souls as women. And then we project that into our marriage. We project that into our relationship. We project that into our home, and we project that into the people around us, because within us, God is living and he is glowing through us. And so, therefore, our submission is within God. We are essentially submitting to God's will when we submit to our husbands, to our partner. So, submission requires you having unbreakable faith in God. It's the only way, because it is not easy. And the only way to get through it, the only way to humble ourselves, to put our egos aside as women, is to humble ourselves to our Father. Therefore, we are able to humble ourselves and submit to our husbands. The fifth reason to embrace submission in your relationship is in marriage. Ladies, the fifth is a word to my unmarried single women. Ladies, if you are not yet married, the principle of submission begins with choosing the right man. Look for a man who follows Christ's example, right? He is a servant, a leader, okay? And he is a man who honors God and he values you. Submission to a godly man is a joy. Yes. It's not a burden, because he leads with love and respect, because he knows that to love you means to respect you, because you are the backbone. He knows that you are the body of Christ, leading him, guiding him, helping him as the Father leads and guide him to lead and guide you, his woman, his family, and his home. So you have to pick a man who is all in with the Lord, who is not afraid to serve, who is not afraid to praise, who is not afraid to be obedient to God, and who is not afraid to be vulnerable in his obedience to God. You can see it in his face, in his eyes, and his worship, that he truly honors God. Because when he does, guess what? He knows how to treat you. He knows how to be a good husband to you, how to be a godly man, how to be a true, giving, awesome, wonderful, leading man in your life. First, he has to be able to submit to God. And you pick up on all of these traits of his. He must love God in order to love, respect, and honor you. So choose wisely. Choose yourself a servant. of God. In closing, submission is not about power or control. It's about love, respect, and trust, a reflection of God's perfect design for marriage. When we embrace our role with humility and strength, we honor God and the creation He created with marriage. It makes us strong, joyful, and filled with His peace. Thank you so much for taking the time today to talk to me a little bit about submission. May your relationship and your marriage be blessed. May your future marriage be blessed, to us single gals who are waiting on this moment to come for us in our lives. May it be blessed as it comes, but we know that it starts first in our relationship to submit ourselves to Him, to start to embrace the role of wife and submission and love and trust so we can have peace and unity in this, because we are getting to go into this new frontier of beauty, love, trust. It is the way that the Lord designed it to be, that our man, our husband, to lead, and for us to be the backbone that carries him through with love, humility, respect, and submission as God intended. I'll see you in the next one. God bless you and keep you, and submit to your man, honey. Submit to that man.